as many of you know, I love wheat, right? So much so that before the gardening update, I had built farms and farms and farms. Actually, it's below this one. This was the one I was working on while the gardening update came out, and farms of wheat, right? I love wheat. And I made a video about the gardening update and how much time it could have saved me. So anyway, after a little rant about how much time it could have saved me if the gardening update came out slightly sooner or my timing was just slightly less atrocious. So, Walk the Hall, one of the people that watches me, I'm just gonna call him Walk for most of this video to save some time. He was randomly like, yo, I've already farmed more wheat than you when I started today. And I'm like, huh? What? And he's like, yeah, it's really easy. I mean, since the gardening update came out, I could just farm faster. And I'm like, what? So then I checked it out. Turns out he farmed more wheat than me. I spent hours upon hours upon hours farming wheat. And he did it all in a day. And it was just that easy for him. He could just farm everything I done within a day. And then he's like, yo, you know what I should do? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna challenge you to a wheat war. A wheat war. You heard me right. So that's how it all started. I had a hope. I had a dream. I would farm more wheat than him. We didn't have an end date. We didn't have a set amount of wheat we're gonna. Oh my goodness, this water is getting in the way. We didn't have a set amount of wheat that we were gonna farm to. We just wanted to farm wheat. So then for days and days, all we did was farm. He devised plans. He watched Technoblade's videos on loop for 10 hours. But you know what I did? I farmed wheat during that time. He was making strategies. He was getting plans ready while I was farming wheat. That gave me an extra lead on him. I was getting ahead faster. I was getting ahead. It felt great. Then I decided wow, that I would actually think of things. I would start to plan myself. So you know what I did? I planned and planned and planned. Just kidding. I kept farming wheat occasionally while farming wheat. I'm like, hey, I could do this. It would make it slightly more efficient, right? I cop or Walk copied my previous farms, improved it. I copied his farm, improved it even more. He had no idea that I improved it the second time, and I turned off guest visiting so that he couldn't steal all of my farm ideas. So with my strategies and my small bit of planning, I was slowly getting faster than him, but then his plans started actually working. And I'm like, no, no, all of my non-planning is falling behind slowly, just slightly behind. I was a couple mil behind at one point, and I'm like, no, I have to do something about this. I can't just sit here and lose a wheat war. I mean, it's a war about wheat. So then I did what I should have from the start. I asked some really rich friend I had, whose net worth is almost 1 billion, if I could borrow some of his stuff. He gave me melon armor, let me borrow a maxed out legendary elephant pet, and a really good wheat hoe that looks like this one, but it had better stats. So for a while then, I farmed wheat, and I got ahead of Walk the Hall for a little while. And then he's like, I'm gonna do some more planning, and I'm like, oh no, I remember what happened last time he did planning. Last time I actually had to do something. So I enlisted the help of another friend. I talked to him for a little bit. I'm like, hey, you know what would be good is if I could AFK farm wheat. Because of how much time I'm not farming wheat. I'm just sleeping instead of farming wheat. I can't do that anymore. I have to constantly be farming. So we devised a plan. And whilst we were devising a plan, Walk the Hall got hacked and then banned. He got banned because he got hacked. Because the admins are like, yo, this guy got hacked. We're gonna help him out by banning him so the hacker can't do anything. Well, by then, it was too late for him. By then, all of his farming stuff was worthless. It had been sold, and all the money transferred to another account that was not his as well. So all of that time he spent getting farming stuff, gone. Absolutely gone. And you'd think that would be the end of it. No. But no, nobody ever gives up that easily. Not in a wheat war. So Walk was like, yo, I'm not giving up. I know I got hacked and I've lost everything, but I'm not giving up. I will farm more wheat than you. I'm like, okay, challenge accepted. So I got with my other friend, plotted even more for an AFK farm. I worked on designing one, or technically we worked on designing one because he came up with the original concept of using water to move you. And I'm like, that's going to be really slow. Well, turns out it is. But I had a few more tricks up my sleeve. See, he came up with the original idea, but I improved it like 3 times so that now it gives me like 160,000 wheat per hour. And you think, oh, that's not that much. That's not very much, I guess. That's only like 100 enchanted hay bales per hour, or like a little over a mil and a half per hour. It's not too much. Well, now enchanted hay bales are a lot more, and it's like 2 mil per hour. Anyway, I spent all night farming AFK. All I had to do was set something on my mouse pad to constantly left click, and it would just keep farming for me. I had to do nothing else but sit there and exist. So whilst I was existing, every night for 4 days, I just kept farming. I just kept farming. Server reboots were a problem because server restarts just completely stopped me from farming for the rest of however long I was gone. So if it restarted the server at the very beginning of that AFK period, then that entire night or whatever time of day it was would be worthless. But it's okay because I farmed so much whilst Walk was banned from being hacked, that I was 5 mil in the lead at least. And then Walk came back and he's like, oh my goodness, I have so many more strategies. All that time I was banned, I was thinking of more strategies. And I'm like, no, no, this can't be. Last time you had strategies, I also had to do something else. No effort. So then I did the unthinkable. I farmed manually. I farmed manually for hours on end. I'm about as much as Walk did, which kept me in the lead. I had a few tricks up my sleeve, including a lantern helmet, a glitch that he didn't know about. The lantern helmet, you see, it buffs your farming fortune per. It gives you 1 farming fortune per farming level you are while holding X. See, the thing is, that's not normally useful. Since you're farming wheat, you use a hoe. Well, here's the thing. There's a little glitch that people don't know about, that if you hold your axe and do this, then you just kind of you get the farming fortune from the lantern helmet, as long as you don't switch spots, as long as you don't switch where your hand is. So I was getting more farming fortune from that, and he had no idea about that glitch. That's just one of the many things that boosted me. I was getting boosted by tons of other things, but I'm not going to detail about every plan I had, everything I was doing. I mean, just look at my minions. My minions, I turned 17. No, 19. Wow. I turned 18 of them into 11 minions. and I turned one of them into a Wheat 12 minion. I spent all that time getting Wheat 12. Was it worth it? In the long run, maybe not. But it definitely helped. But that's just a couple of my things that helped boost me. I'm not even gonna go into detail about how much I did with those minions that boosted my farming level even more. Yeah, no, I'm not going to. I'm still considering it occasionally, but I'm not. I'm not, okay? Don't try to talk me into it, because I will do it. I will do it. I will go into detail about every farm I constructed, everything I had. If you'll sit there and listen for just 10 seconds, no, it wouldn't be 10 seconds. It would be more like 10 years. I had so many details. I had so many plans. I had so many things helping me out that Walk had no idea about. And see, he thought he was clever. He thought, hey, if I just used like this elephant pet, right? Or not this elephant pet, this mushroom pet, it gives me more farming fortune if I have strength, right? So if I have like the Minos relic, it holding a Minos relic, and I have stuff boosting my strength, I only need like 675 at least to get more than the elephant pet, right? Well, you see, normally yes. But he never got the Minos relic. In fact, I don't think he even had he had the mushroom pet. I don't even know what level it was. It was like level 60 or something. But then he got hacked, and then it was taken during the hack. And then after he got back, I gave him some stuff. I actually gave him the funds to get an elephant pet. And he's like, my plans. I still plan to use the mushroom pet, just not yet, because the elephant pet gives more temporarily until I get enough to get the mushroom pet and the Minos relic and all the strength and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, bruh, that's so far into the future. You think the war's gonna last that long? I'm gonna beat you in 10 minutes! So rather than beating him in 10 minutes, it took a little bit longer than that, sadly. Just a little bit longer though. It was like 10 days or something. I don't know. But anyway, he decided to farm some more, and I decided to farm some more, and I decided to build an even better farm. See, what I did now was I built a farm that required you to hold two buttons, the left click and A, and you would farm 336 enchanted hay bales per hour. Manually farming got you 339. That's 3 less hay bales. And all you have to do is put something on two buttons on your computer. So needless to say, I was about to have that in the bag. And then, by that time, I had farmed 20 million wheat, and Walk the Hall had farmed about 6,600,000, somewhere around there. 6,600,000 no, 607,000 was about where he ended. I'll put the exact number up now. And I ended at 20 million something. I'll put the exact number out too and compare them. I calculated it out. I farmed exactly 13,759,969 more wheat than him. He decided to quit the war with that number. And I'm like, yo, that means I win the war. Actually, I totally forgot. There was another person that joined the war like halfway through. Matt, the guy that helped me design the AFK farm, he joined the war because he was farming enough wheat that he was beating Walk the Hall already. It really didn't take much to beat Walk the Hall. He thought he had his strategies, but I am Adam I. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description. He literally joined a few days earlier and had beaten Walk the Hall in wheat collected. It was that easy. I am Adam I. I'll just call him Matt for short for now. He wasn't even farming wheat for the war. He was farming it for profit. Meaning, once Walk ended the war, once he left, Matt was like, yeah, you won the war. So I won the war, farming 20 million something. It was a lot simpler than I thought, and it only took like a month or so, maybe a little bit longer. I don't know. I lost track of time. I used so much brain power on this one war. I have much brain power on this one war. Was it worth it? That depends on who you ask. But what I think, absolutely. I cannot lose a wheat war. I mean, it's a wheat war. How dare I lose? If I lose, you better disown me. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Now go farm wheat, you nerds.